November 28, 1883. Cottonwood Canyon, a short distance from Tombstone, Arizona Territory. An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. November 29, 1883. Whenever Doc Cunningham broke into a run, it was certain to be a matter of life or death.
Clay, Tom Belden's been shot.
Where is he? How bad's he hurt?
Cottonwood Canyon Trail. Well, he's in bad shape. The payroll money for the ranch is gone, too.
That figures. Why didn't you bring him in?
He's hurt too bad. He must have laid there all night. Miss Belden told me to go out looking for him.
All right. Quet, you keep an eye on things around here.
All right, Clay.
Doc, you and Riker get a buckboard. We'll need it to bring Tom in.
You don't mind if the epitaph rides along?
Not if it rides fast.
The morning of November 29, 1883. Tom Belden's assailant had done his work well.
He's dead.
You said he was conscious briefly when you found him. Did he say anything?
He could hardly talk. All he said was, masked man rode a sorrel horse.
How much would the ranch payroll amount to?
I guess it tallied out to around $1,500.
Let's get him on the wagon. Hey, Doc. Got any plaster of Paris in the bag?
Why, yeah, I guess so. About a pound or so.
Thanks.
What are you going to do with that?
The man that shot Belden was riding a lame horse. Take a look at that hoof print. Wasn't made by Belden's horse. You notice anything odd about it?
Yeah, one hole seems to have a nail missing.
That's right. Left front hoof. The horse was favoring it. Print isn't as deep as the others.
I still don't see what that's got to do with plaster of Paris.
I'll show you. You're about to witness the latest wrinkle in detection as practiced by the French Sûreté.
The what?
I read about it in Leslie's Monthly. It's called moulage, making plaster casts out of footprints and other things.
How much longer do you think it'll be?
Should be ready pretty quick now.
Say, Clay, Do you think that Belden could have been killed by his foreman?
Ben Riker?
He's got a bad record, you know.
I know.
The business of him coming in for the dock and guiding us back here.
I'll talk to him. Perfect. Look at that. Every detail sharp and clear. You can even see that little triangular gouge in the frog of the hoof. Yeah. Come on, let's get back to town.
I want you to know, Sheriff, I don't hold no hard feelings on account of you might have figured that I bushwhacked the boss. What with my background...
I have to check all the angles, Riker.
I know that. And I reckon it looked as though I could have done it. I liked my boss. I'd give my right arm from here on out to see the snake that killed him dangling at the end of a rope.
Maybe you will.
Well, if you want me, you know where to find me.
Don't worry. If I want you, I'll find you.
Hello, Sheriff. Obliged you to take a look at this for me.
Sure, what is it?
Plaster cast of a hoof print.
Well, so it is.
You ever seen that shoe before?
Would it matter if I have or haven't?
Might make the difference in whether or not I catch the man that killed Tom Belden.
Tom Belden of the Box B?
That's right. Mean anything to you?
Being a law-abiding citizen, Sheriff, I want to tell the truth. But if I do, I'm as good as accusing a man of murder.
Then you do recognize it.
I put that shoe on Asa Sibley's horse just a couple of days ago.
Are you sure it's the same one?
You see that missing nail?
Huh?
I left it out of purpose. Sibley's horse had a corn in his hoof. That nail would have gone right into it. I left it out to give the corn a chance to heal.
Well, couldn't it be some other shoe that just happened to be missing a nail?
Ain't a blacksmith around worth his salt that can't tell every shoe he ever made. By the shapings of it, even the hammer markings. That's my shoe, and I put it on Asa Sibley's horse.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
That's a real nice chestnut. You figure the owner might want to sell?
No, I don't figure so. I'm the owner.
I can't say as I blame you.
I can do without visitors.
You always greet him with a rifle, Sibley?
All the friends I ever had stole me blind sooner or later.
I'm not in what you could call a friendly mood. I'm Clay Hollister, sheriff of Tombstone. I'm here on business.
What business?
Tom Belden was killed yesterday afternoon. Hoof prints at the scene of the shooting could have been made by your horse.
Well, that's a lie. I ain't been out of this place in 2 days.
Can you prove it?
No. I live by myself.
2 days, huh? Is that when you took your horse in to be shod?
Well, what if it was?
Gantry shod your horse with the shoe that made the incriminating print.
He said that? Then he's a liar. And you're a liar. You're out to get me, the lot of you. Sheriff?
Put on the gun, Sibley.
Now you get back on that horse and get out of here. I ain't done nothing. Now you get.
You're calling it.
I don't like it. But if you have to have it the hard way, I'll oblige. You let go! You let go of me! Hey! What? You have no right! I'll get even with you, sure! Suppose it makes no difference to you that you got the wrong man.
Maybe the wrong man, but it looks like you own the right horse.
What'd you have to do, kill him?
No, it turned out he was the wrong man.
Wrong man. But that plaster cast showed a nail missing from the shoe.
Yeah? We made a mistake. Sibley's horse does have a nail missing from one shoe, but the shoe itself doesn't match the cast. Thanks for your help anyway.
Yeah.
You wanted to see me, Gantry?
Likely to be the other way around, if you hear what I've got to say.
About what?
About who killed Belden?
What do you mean?
I mean, I know who killed Belden. So does Hollister, only he's not doing anything about it.
How do you know all about this?
Hollister was here with a plaster cast of the hoof print of the horse the murderer was riding. I knew who owned that horse. I told Hollister, and he went out to see the man. He came back alone, though.
Who was it?
The horse belonged to Asa Sibley.
I'm going to go out there and kill him myself.
No, Riker. That's not the way. You'll just wind up on the end of a rope. Now, Belden had a lot of friends, and they'll feel like we do once we tell them about it.
Ben Riker is spreading lynch talk against Sibley all over town.
Yeah, I know it.
Well, what's worse, they're getting plenty of listeners. I don't like it.
I don't either, so I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to put Sibley under protective custody. I'll feel better with him in a cell instead of out on that sage patch of his.
He's a funny old duck. What if he won't cooperate?
He will. I think he's had his belly full of not cooperating.
The afternoon of November 29, 1883. Asa Sibley had no mind or stomach for one of Tombstone's jail cells. But whether by recollection of the sheriff's fists or by the persuasiveness of his arguments, the sodbuster finally gave in.
Looks like I win again. You want to play for a penny a point?
Oh, thank you. Can't have the deputy making more money than the sheriff. Hey, were you ever a dealer? A crooked one, maybe?
They tell me you got that murdering Sibley in jail here.
Yeah, Sibley's here.
Well, then you changed your mind? You're going to make him pay for killing the boss?
No, Riker, Sibley didn't do it. He's innocent.
But you and Gantry have been spreading lynch talk. And I'm taking no chances on mob action.
Well, you got a lot of gall to stand there and tell me you're protecting them.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Well, what about Tom Belden?
You just take it easy, boy.
Take it easy? Hollister, you know what Tom Belden did for me? You know what I was when he took me on as a hand?
Yeah, Tom was a good judge of horses, cattle, and men. He made no mistake on you, Ben. Don't you make a mistake now.
Well, I ain't gonna wait for no lynch mob.
I'll just keep this for you until you cool down. Quint, see that he stays out of trouble.
On the surface, Tombstone was calm, but in the saloons and gambling halls, there was ferment. Gantry and Riker had done their job well. The situation was explosive, and all it needed now was a spark to set it off.
Harris.
Oh, morning, Clay.
I want you to do something for me.
What is it?
I want you to go down to Gantry's blacksmith shop and get him up here to the printing plant on some pretext. And keep him here as long as you can.
Gantry, what for?
Because he was wrong about that hoof print belonging to Sibley's horse. He was wrong or he lied. There's only one logical reason for him to lie. To cover himself. Besides, there's something else. Gantry owns a chestnut horse. To a dying man, that could look the same color as sorrow. Well, how about it? Will you do it for me?
When?
Right now. You give me about 5 minutes head start and go into your act. Tell Gantry that, tell him that the press broke down. You need him to repair it.
All right. But you just remember, that Gantry is about twice as big as I am. That makes me a prime candidate for Doc Cunningham. Or for Jake Riddle, the Undertaker.
Well, Harris, I have complete confidence in you.
Well, I wish I could say the same.
Owen, if there's any trouble, you stay out of it.
Afternoon.
Howdy.
Gantry, I've got myself in something of a fix. I wonder if you could help me out.
Well, none of us right now, I can't.
Oh, listen, man, I got a copy of the newspaper to get out today. And the bed of that press won't seem to move one way or another. One of the rollers is either jammed or cracked.
Well, I'd like to help you, but I gotta get this wheel out.
Well, it won't take you but a minute, Gantry. To look at it, if it looks like too big a job, you can just forget about it.
Well, I guess I can spare a minute.
Well, I'm sure much obliged to you. I don't like to miss an edition if I don't have to.
Nothing. Say, you haven't been stalling me, just trying to keep me here, have you?
Of course not. Why would I do a thing like that?
I don't know, but if it turns out you have, I'll come back to take things apart, not to fix them. Hollister?
I'm looking for something.
What?
Money you stole from Belden after you killed him.
What are you talking about? You know Asa Sibley killed Belden.
No, Gantry. When Sibley brought a lame horse into you, and you left a nail out of its shoe, you saw a golden opportunity to pull a job that you'd been thinking about for a long time.
Oh, I'll talk. I ain't gonna listen to it.
Tom Belden paid his hands off like clockwork. He came to the bank a certain day of every month, certain hour of the day. Your job on Sibley's horse coincided. So you fixed up a shoe on your own horse, missing a nail, and went out to waylay Belden. He was right on time, as usual.
You said the murderer's horse was lame. My horse ain't lame.
No, not now. You were smarter there than I gave you credit for, Gantry. How'd you fake it? With a wedge pressing into the frog or a piece of wire around the ankle?
You can't prove a thing.
Yes, I can. The moulage I made doesn't match the shoe on your horse now because you got panicky and put on a new one. But the cast does show a little triangular gouge your horse has in the frog of his hoof. And I found that horseshoe, the one you tried to destroy.
Drop your gun bell, lawman.
That the gun that killed Tom Belden? You better think twice about this, Gantry. Gunshot in here will bring a crowd running. How do you explain it?
I'm going to shoot you in the back, Hollister. Then I can say it was a mistake. I saw you in here and thought you were a thief. Now turn around.
He had Belden's money on him all the time. Where were you, Harris? Could have used a little help. I try to keep those jail cells clean and ship-shape, but they're no substitute for home, huh, Sibley?
Well, thanks for all you done for me, Sheriff.
Sibley, I came pretty close to making a jackass out of myself. Or worse.
Well, whatever you done it for Belden.
No, listen, a man lives lonely and solitary like you do. Well, it ain't right for a man to live that way. And, well, there's other places he could be useful.
Will you offer me a job, Riker?
Well, now, don't go thinking it's charity, because it ain't.
Well, I'll think about it.
You do that.
Well, if anyone needs proof that the age of miracles isn't past, there it is.
Yeah, they are kind of an unlikely pair. This goes to show you never can tell. Say, Harris, how about a game of cribbage?
Sheriff, now you are in trouble.
Whistle me up, oh, mammal.
tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, August 12, 1881. Reed Barker knew the Oriental Saloon had taken in a lot of money.
A minute at the bar. Get over to the wall.
Drop the gun.
And I'm certainly glad that it's you, Sheriff, because there's a holdup in there. In fact, I think he's still in there.
Really? That bag of money you got in your hand makes me think he's right out here.
There?
That's right. Drop it. Any more tricks, friend? Inside.
You're not going to kill me?
Guess you haven't heard about Tombstone, friend. We got a little thing here called due process of law. Means I'm supposed to take you in alive. If I can.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. September 8, 1881. Not quite a month later, Reed Barker had been tried and convicted of armed robbery and murder. But the trouble was only beginning.
Something I can do for you?
Come and see a guest of yours, Sheriff. Reed Barker.
Sorry, Barker isn't allowed any visitors.
Well, it hardly seems fair not to let him see his own kin. He's my brother.
Your brother?
That's right, Sheriff. I'm Seth Barker. Now, wouldn't I be plumb out of my head to come here if I was wanted someplace, Sheriff? I'm not like old Reed. Never done nothing wrong in my whole life. And Reed, you don't have no kin at all except me.
All right, I'll give you 5 minutes with him.
You act like you kind of feared old Reed, Sheriff.
Unbuckle your gun belt.
You feared of me too, Sheriff?
A murderer who shoots people in the back just might have a brother equally as heroic.
You're right, Sheriff. Ain't no sense taking chances.
Face that wall. Brace your hands up against it. All right, that way. Clint, keep an eye on the store. Sure, Clint. Somebody to see you, Barker. You got 5 minutes.
Hello, Reed.
You sure took your sweet time getting here.
Come as fast as I could. Dude, I told you would help.
Say, Sheriff, would you mind Could my brother and I have a couple of minutes privacy?
Sorry.
It's all right, Sheriff. Say, Seth, you remember that farewell party that you had in mind? Well, we're going to forget all about it. Understand?
But, it's all planned.
Now, I said forget it. You see, I've had an awful lot of time to think since I've been in here. And, well, I've seen the error of my ways. I should have lived a better life. More like the sheriff and all of his men.
Sure, Reed. That's right.
You remember the way it was back in Topeka?
Topeka?
About 2 years ago, that guy that was going to die.
Oh, sure. I remember.
You remember that? Well, you remember how he repented near the end? Well, that's the way I want to go.
Oh, sure.
I'll tell you what I want you to do. I want you to go and see Paul. Last I heard, he was living just outside of town. Poor old man, he never did have much, and I think if you was to give him $1,000, I think it'd be real pleasurable to him.
I'll do that, Reed. You have my word on it.
Good.
Time's up.
You go and see Pa as soon as you can, huh?
I will, Reed.
Bye, sir.
It's all yours, Quint.
Right.
Farewell party, forget it. Like the sheriff and his men. Topeka. Why'd you underline that?
Topeka 2 years ago. It meant something, some kind of a plan. That part about forgetting the farewell party, I'm sure that has something to do with trying to break Reed out of jail. But he's not going to do that now. He's got some other kind of a plan. They talked it out right in front of me. A plan to get Reed out of jail.
Well, at least you can take all the precautions you need.
What precautions? I've done everything I can think of. It's got to be something I wouldn't think of. Something right there in that code. Like Reed telling Seth to give his pa $1,000.
Well, maybe he meant it. He stole over $20,000 that hasn't been found.
Yeah, but according to Seth, Reed has no other family. Just him.
I wish I had the Topeka files of 2 years ago. They might help. I'll tell you what. I'll write for him.
No, that might be too late.
Convinced that the conversation he had witnessed between Reed and Seth Barker was some sort of coded plan on the part of the brothers, Sheriff Clay Hollister rode out to talk to Noah Crane, the hangman. The sheriff was taking every precaution against any last-minute escape attempt on the part of the killer.
One hanging's just like any other. Now, why all the fuss, huh?
You just conduct the hanging, Noah. Let me take care of the arrangements.
What are the arrangements?
I'll let you know when the time comes.
You know, it must be true what people have been saying all over town.
What's that?
That you're scared someone's going to come in and take that boy away from you?
Nobody's going to take the boy, Noah. You just buy yourself that new rope. You'll be using it. You see something? Just a couple of hours to go. If somebody's going to grab Barker, it'll have to be soon.
Has he given you any hint that he's expecting help?
No, not in so many words. He just doesn't act like a man who knows he's going to die.
Well, what are the chances, Clay? I mean, what if a dozen or so men suddenly rode into town? Could they take him?
I don't think so. In the first place, they couldn't surprise us. I've got men hidden out there. No, it's not that I'm worried about. It's the unknown. There's something going on that we don't know about.
Hey, what's going on?
Dawn, Reed. Time to go.
Don. Not gonna be much of an audience, is there?
It's the idea. Won't be anybody there but the necessary witnesses and the guards.
Yeah? What kind of a day is it? Nice day for a hanging?
Is there such a thing?
Hey, get your hands off of me. Now, you listen to me, Sheriff. You're looking at one man who is not afraid to die.
Looks like you're afraid I might get away, Sheriff.
My job to see it don't.
Anytime you're ready, Judge.
Reed Barker, by legal order of a duly appointed court of law.
All right, now, isn't it enough I had to listen to that stuff once? Now, let's get it over with.
Do you want to say anything before this sentence is carried out?
No.
You want a blindfold?
No.
What? Oh! That's right. It broke. Now, get me loose.
You're gonna have to go back to jail until we get a ruling on this.
Well, you can't hang me twice.
That's the law, isn't it, Judge? If it was an act of God.
What if it wasn't? What if it was a deliberate accident?
If you can prove criminal conspiracy, then I'll reschedule the execution.
Now, just a minute. What do you mean, prove? Now, the rope broke, so I'm free. Now, what have you got to prove?
We'll see.
Reed Barker had been hanged, and he was still alive. And one thing was certain, to rope had not been cut.
What happened to it, Noah? You're responsible. What happened?
I don't know. It was brand new, the same as always.
Yeah. Look, Judge, this didn't just happen.
Can you produce proof?
Well, give me some time.
The law states that if a criminal survives an execution and there's no proof of criminal conspiracy, he is absolved of all the crimes with which he was charged.
You're turning loose a murderer.
Now, you heard what the judge said. Now, you've got to turn me loose.
All right, Quinn, unlock him.
Thank you kindly, Sheriff.
Don't thank me.
Well, gents, who's going to join me at the Oriental? You know, an ordeal like this gives a man a mighty dry throat. Well, I'll thank you if you'd return my gun to me, Sheriff.
Quinn, take care of it.
Looks like he's a mite scared, Reed.
You're like he just saw a ghost. I drank you.
Yes.
You did pretty good.
You can always trust me, Reed.
Yeah. Hey, what did you have to pay?
2,000.
2,000? You sure don't care how you spend my money.
Well, I got him down from 5. It was worth it at twice the money.
Yeah.
Reed, let's get out of here. I got us a couple of horses.
Now, just sit down and relax. Look, I am a free man. I don't have to run from anybody, and I can stay here as long as I want, forever if I want to.
Sure you can. Only that little old tin can bank over in Bartlettville, it's not going to stay full of gold forever. I figure we best be moving.
Now, I'm still doing the figuring the same as always. And I figure we're going to stay here until tonight. You see, it's not every day that you get to pick up an easy $2,000.
Reed.
Hmm?
You're not figuring on taking that money back.
Back from my friend? The one you gifted my $2,000 to? Well, now, it can't stick it. It can't stick it in the bank. And if somebody was to take it from him, it can't complain to the sheriff. Is that right? Now, relax.
It had to be a trick.
Clay, we went over every inch of those gallows. There wasn't a thing. Noah's been the hangman for years. We know he bought the rope brand new, same as always.
I know. So we're right back where we started from.
What is it?
You tell me.
Kind of a sharp odor. Gunpowder?
No, I don't think so. It smells to me more like some kind of an acid.
That's what it is, all right. Hydrochloric acid.
Well, how would you apply it to the rope, Doc? Just dip it in?
Not necessarily. As a matter of fact, that acid is so powerful that, well, it would eat through the rope immediately.
Well, suppose you wanted the rope to break when a certain amount of weight was pulling on it. But you had to make sure that if anybody examined it first, it would look and feel just like an ordinary rope. How would you do it?
Well, I think I'd use a medicine dropper. A few drops of the acid on the inside strand so it wouldn't show.
That's it. I think you've got your proof. Doc, can you spare some of that in a medicine dropper?
Sure, Clay.
Harris, I want you to do me a favor. Get me a new rope, then go down to the blacksmith shop. Tell him I want to borrow an anvil. Have him deliver it to the gallows.
An anvil?
Weighing about 180 pounds.
Afraid exactly like the first one. But who?
It was never very friendly, but then hanging people and digging graves isn't a very friendly way of life, or one that pays very well.
You ain't got no right to accuse me of anything, Sheriff. And that newspaper man got no right nosing around my place.
He's acting as my deputy, Noah. You know, I think we're going to prove that you doctored that rope. Might go easier on you if you confessed first.
No, you ain't making much sense, Sheriff. I always done my job fair, and anybody...
What do you got, Harris? The acid?
Nope. $2,000.
Yes, sir. $2,000. That's where we're going to pick us up tonight.
Anytime you say, Reed.
Well, I say right now. Any objections?
Oh, no, sir, Mr. Barker. No objections.
No, sir, Mr. Barker. Let me tell you something, Mr. Bartender. This here's the town that tried to hang me, only they couldn't. Not Reed Barker, because he's the only man that's tougher than Tombstone.
Oh, that's right, Mr. Barker.
That's right, Mr. Barker. You know that's right, Mr. Barker. And I want you to give that sheriff of yours a message. You tell him that Reed Barker's not finished with him.
Reed! They got the hangman. Sheriff's headed this way. He's coming for you, Reed.
Well, good. You go out there and tell him I left. I go around the back way and get him while he's talking to you. Go on.
Hello, Sheriff.
Drop the gun belt.
Yeah? Mind if I ask you what I did?
Where is he?
Old Reed? He left here a while ago.
Come on out, Barker.
You didn't hang me anyway.
Clay? Huh? These just came. Those Topeka papers from 2 years ago. A little late. But look here.
It explains what Reed was talking about.
Yeah.
A condemned killer bribed a hangman to have the rope break.
Mm-hmm.
Well, aren't you interested?
Yeah, I'm interested. Just playing around with his code. Paul, of course, meant Noah, and the $1,000 was the amount of bribe that Reed thought Seth should offer. So, what happened to your Topeka killer?
Well, he got away with it for a while. They discovered the plot when the hangman started throwing money around.
I guess Reed would have gotten away with it, too, if he hadn't stayed here. Instead, he killed his brother.
And got killed.
Yeah. One time he told the truth.
How do you mean?
He said he wouldn't hang. He didn't.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
November 6, 1882. Outside Tombstone, Arizona Territory. Two riders. One, the notorious Kyle Dodge gang leader and killer. The other, a United States Marshal, the man responsible for escorting Kyle Dodge through Tombstone to the territorial prison at Yuma. This is the way they arrived.
$0.25 for breakfast and a nickel tip. Prices are going up and up.
There's no telling where they'll stop.
Well, there's one thing certain. If they go much higher, I'll have to ask the city council for a raise. Take it easy, Marshal.
I hope you have a nice, strong jail, Sheriff. I was ambushed a couple of miles back.
Get Doc Cunningham.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. Sheriff Hollister had sent for the Tombstone physician, Doc Cunningham, to aid the dying marshal and his wounded prisoner, Kyle Dodge. Clay, this is Dr. Buell. Doc Cunningham was out on a call.
Dr. Buell. Haven't seen him in town before.
Well, he's just in town for a few days. I was lucky to get him.
Maybe. Maybe not. Where'd you find him?
He came up and introduced himself. Said he heard you needed a doctor. What's eating you? You're meaner than a stepped-on rattler.
I'll tell you later.
No, there's nothing I can do about him. He's dead.
I'll take a look at Dodge now.
You be good enough to show the way, Sheriff?
Tell me, Doctor, How did you know that I had a wounded prisoner?
Why, that's common gossip. It's all over town.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The patient, Sheriff.
I suppose you have proof that you are a physician.
Why, Now, wait a minute, Clay. That's going a little far, don't you think?
Well, Dr. Buell?
Well, I've never been asked to identify myself before, but as long as you insist.
The doctor volunteered his services, Clay.
All right. I'll be watching you closely.
Nice of you to drop by. I was getting lonesome.
I'm not sure. Do I want to get a look at that shoulder?
Sure, Doc.
How's the marshal?
Your friends did a good job.
Always said being a lawman was a dangerous profession.
Yeah. Especially when you have to worry about being shot in the back from ambush.
It's just a flesh wound. You'll live
For a long time, I hope. There's a nice big cell waiting for you up at Yuma Penitentiary.
Talking's one thing. Getting me there's another.
You'll get there.
That's just your opinion. I got some friends who think differently. The marshal found out the hard way.
Well, your friends don't seem to have been much help so far.
I got a bad break, that's all. If it hadn't been for an accident, I'd have gotten away during the ambush.
What do you mean, an accident?
When the marshal was bushwhacked, Dodge here went for his gun. And in the struggle, Dodge got himself shot. Just a minute, Doc. Take your hand out of the bag real easy. Now move up here. This part of your medical equipment?
A man's got a right to carry a gun, hasn't he, Sheriff?
Yeah. But in your case, it's a little unusual. It's your profession to heal, not hurt.
I'm traveling across dangerous country. Even a doctor's got the right to defend himself. I'll take that back now.
Sure. Just send me your bill. I'll make sure you get paid.
Thank you. And I'll include the price of 6 bullets with my statement. Good day, gentlemen.
Little jumping, aren't you, officer? Make sure you lock it up good. Your bird might get out and fly away.
I made arrangements for the marshal.
Thanks. I guess you're wondering about the way I treated Buell.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call your attitude normal.
While you're out looking for a doc, the marshal was able to tell me a few facts about Kyle Dodge.
Well, he's a tough customer, and that's a fact.
And he's got a lot of friends out of the same mold. Dodge and his gang have been raiding the small towns in the eastern part of the state. The only one they could capture was Dodge himself.
Well, then how many of that gang do you suppose are in Tombstone now?
Your guess is as good as mine.
And you think Dr. Buell could be one of them?
Could be.
Dodge seemed pretty confident. Suppose he's counting on those men getting him out?
According to the marshal, Dodge is the only one who knows where all the money from the raids is stashed. They've got to try to free him.
Yep. They tried it once. They'll make the attempt again.
And my deputy's out of town. Well, I need some help.
Anything I can do.
All right. I gotta go out for a while. You keep an eye on things here. Oh, and lock this door. I want to keep all the friends I've got.
Sheriff Clay Hollister moved quickly to arrange for Kyle Dodge's safe delivery to the Yuma prison. His plan would take time, but he was determined that Dodge would not escape the law again.
flesh wound, nothing serious. Well, if it isn't Tombstone's esteemed sheriff. You've come to quiet your nerves with a drink?
I think you could prescribe a better remedy. These gentlemen friends of yours?
Acquaintances, Mr. Boland, Mr. Andrews, Sheriff Hollister.
Howdy, Sheriff. Glad to meet you.
Planning on staying in town long?
Hard to say. Depends on how long it takes to get our business done. Might take a week, might take a day. Hard to tell.
What is your business, Mr. Boland?
Cattle. Got a ranch down on the New Mexico line.
Oh, well, that's Kyle Dodge's hunting ground, isn't it?
It was until they caught him. Dodge never bothered us none, though. Here you got him locked up here in Tombstone.
You know, for a couple of fellas that just arrived in town, you're well supplied with information.
I've been telling him about Dodge. Sheriff's a very suspicious man.
Can't say that I blame him.
Say, Sheriff, what are you going to do about Dodge? You going to take him back to Yuma prison yourself?
No, I just sent this off a couple of minutes ago.
Oh. Yuma prison. Request you send officer to take custody of prisoner Kyle Dodge. Will hold until marshal arrives. Signed, Sheriff Clay Hollister, Tombstone Territory. Yeah.
You should have a man here in a couple of days.
A couple of days could be a long time. Anything could happen.
I'll be extra careful.
The sheriff looks like a man that can handle himself.
Yeah. Dead Marshal looked like a man that could handle himself. Didn't help him any.
Dodge is going to prison. Nothing is going to prevent him getting there.
Set him up.
November 7, 1882. Kyle Dodge was still safely locked up in the Tombstone jail. His next step, the penitentiary at Yuma. Yet the notorious prisoner appeared to be unconcerned.
Looks good enough to eat, but got something. Where's the knife and fork? I can't cut anything with this.
I know.
What's the matter, Hollister? Don't you trust me? I never did like to eat alone. Why don't you hang around?
What for?
I thought we could talk a little. What kind of salary do you make, Hollister?
Enough.
$78 a month and you furnish your own horse. Big deal.
Are you worried about my future?
I hate to see a man miss a good opportunity.
Good opportunity?
How would you like to make $5,000, Hollister?
It's a lot of money.
Man could work all his life and never save that much.
Maybe.
I got plenty of money. All you have to do is let me out of here. $5,000. What do you say, Hollister?
You're wasting your time.
All you'll ever get out of this town is a bullet and a cheap funeral in Boot Hill.
Eat your food. It's getting cold.
Night. As Clay Hollister made his final check of the town, he was doubly alert. He felt certain that Dodge's gang would attempt to release him. They had tried it before, and a U.S. Marshal was dead.
Sheriff Hollister?
Something I can do for you, ma'am?
I'd like to talk to you for a moment, Sheriff.
Come right in. Yes, ma'am?
I want to see Kyle Dodge, please.
I'm sorry. The prisoner isn't allowed any visitors.
Not even his wife? We were married a little over a year ago in Tucson.
I didn't even know he had a wife.
We kept it a secret.
Even to the extent of not wearing a wedding ring?
You don't wear a wedding ring when you don't want people to know you're married.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't mean to doubt your word, but you're going to have to show me some proof that you are married to Dodge.
Oh, would a wedding picture help?
It might.
This proof enough for you?
I guess so.
Put your guns on the desk. Don't do anything we'll both be sorry about, Sheriff. Now, you better take me to see Kyle Dodge. After you. All right, open it.
I told you I wouldn't be here long, Hollister. Better do like the lady says.
Not this time, boy. You better go back into my office and discuss this a little further.
I feel like such an awful fool.
Anytime you're ready, start talking.
My name is Lydia Dawson.
How'd you meet Kyle Dodge?
Up until a few moments ago, I'd never seen him before.
I'm supposed to believe that?
It's the truth. Dodge and his gang raided Colton City 4 months ago. My father ran the bank. They killed him.
Go on.
There's nothing more to say. Except I wanted to pay Dodge back.
You weren't trying to set him free?
No, I wanted to kill him.
In the meantime, you better stay in town.
I'm staying at the hotel. Could I have my gun back, please?
For the time being, it might be better for both of us if I keep it. Dawson?
Good morning, Sheriff.
How long have you known Dr. Buell?
For quite a while. He's from my hometown.
Oh?
Why?
Just curious.
Could I have my gun back now?
I'm sorry, Miss Dawson. I haven't heard from Colton City yet.
You will, Sheriff.
November 11, 1882. A lone rider on the trail outside of Tombstone. The man who rode in answer to Clay Hollister's telegram.
Sheriff Hollister?
That's right.
U.S. Deputy Marshal Kennedy.
Oh, good to meet you. Come on in. You didn't waste any time getting here.
Well, the quicker we get Dodge to Yuma, the better.
This is Harris Clyburn, the editor of the Epitaph.
Hello, Marshal.
How do you do?
You got any credentials on you?
Oh.
Thanks.
I thought sure the Marshal's office would send more than one man.
Good enough. Yeah, there are a lot of strangers in town. No telling how many of them are members of Dodge gang.
Well, Dodge is going to Yuma on the stagecoach. All we got to worry about is getting him aboard. I can handle it from there.
When do you want to go?
There's a coach leaving for Yuma in 20 minutes. I can make it.
I'll get him.
Need some help?
No, thanks. All right. Let's go, Dodge.
Where are we going, Hollister?
Out of one jail into another one. I'll turn him over to you at the stagecoach.
Sure.
You'll never make it, Hollister. Two of you won't be enough.
Or maybe three of us will shorten the odds some.
Keep your eyes open. Like you've got some company to see you off. Harris, cover Buell and the girl. You can take it now. All right. Dodge, looks like you're not going to be lonely in prison. Your friend here can keep you company.
How did you know Kennedy wasn't a marshal?
I showed Bolin and Andrews a fake telegram saying I'd asked for help. I didn't send it.
So Kennedy had to be working with Dodge.
Uh-huh.
What about those credentials he showed you?
Forged. See, before he died, Marshall warned me to be careful who I trusted. He said that Dodge's men would stop at nothing to set him free.
And not to be good advice.
Yeah. Wish you were alive so I could thank him. You can have this back now, Miss Dawson.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Well, it's good to see you in a pleasant mood for a change, Sheriff.
Yeah, I sort of like the feeling myself.
I was just apologizing to the doctor and Miss Dawson for thinking they could be part of Dodge's gang.
Oh, yeah, I guess I should say a few words in that direction, too.
That isn't necessary, Sheriff. We understand now. I'm grateful it all came out the way it did.
I do have one question, though, Doctor. Just before the shooting started, I saw you open your medical bag. What were you reaching for?
Well, I know this sounds ridiculous, but I was reaching for a sedative. Miss Dawson had a headache.
I thought it might be a gun. I saw you drinking with Bolin and Andrews. Did you know them before?
I took a slug out of Andrews about 2 years ago in Abilene. I didn't know they were outlaws.
Suspicion can make a man do strange things.
It goes along with a lawman's job. I guess I should try to curb it, though. Uh-oh. What's he doing in Tombstone?
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, June 3, 1882. Sheriff Clay Hollister was making his nightly check before putting the town to bed.
How you doing, Rusty?
Good evening, Sheriff. Or is it morning?
Straight up. Take your pick.
Well, it's good morning.
How's business?
Mighty quiet tonight.
Huh? That's just the way I like it. Quiet.
Sorry, mister, but I'm closing.
But I want to play. You heard me.
Yeah, I heard you. How many chips do you want?
No chips, just one hand, $100.
It's your money.
Yeah, that's right.
What goes?
Like you said earlier, it's my money.
But you lost.
No. You dealt from the bottom of the deck.
Listen, mister, I've been dealing here in Tombstone for 2 years, and nobody, never accused me.
Maybe you're dealing your own tombstone right now.
I'm not armed.
You threw a bottle at me, mister. Bottle's a lethal weapon. Let go. Sorry, Sheriff. You caught me by surprise.
You're awful eager to shoot an unarmed man.
Unarmed. He tried to kill me.
I know Rusty better than that. He might have tried to defend himself, but kill you? No.
Well, maybe I was a little hasty. But you know how it is, Sheriff. A fellow just gets into town,
People try to take advantage of them. And I've learned there's not much law in these frontier towns. Man has to shoot first and ask questions later.
Not in Tombstone, Mr.
Sanders. Vince Sanders.
Well, Mr. Sanders, you better take a tight rein on that temper of yours. We don't like loose gunplay.
What about my money?
How about it, Rusty?
He bet $100 and lost, claim I dealt off the bottom.
Oh, you got the wrong man, mister. Rusty doesn't bottom deal. Now, why don't you just take your original bet and go home to bed? It's all right with Rusty.
Sure. I was ready to go to bed an hour ago.
I thought you said it was a quiet night.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. June 4, 1882. The stage from Denver arrived in Tombstone ahead of schedule.
Oh, hello, Harris. Say, I thought you were going to meet the stage today. Isn't Bert McGraw due in?
Yeah, I thought you might want to come along. Stage is due any minute.
Oh, that's a good idea. I can stop by Hatch's on the way back, get a bite to eat.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Nothing at all. As a matter of fact, things are improving around here. Well, Bert, welcome home.
Hi, fellas. We were just going to meet you.
You two are the first to know. Gentlemen, this is Jeannie, otherwise known as Mrs. Bert McGraw. Jeannie, Sheriff Hollister, Mr. Clyburn of the Epitaph.
How do you do, gentlemen?
Well, congratulations. When did all this happen?
Day before we left Denver.
I'm afraid you're going to have to forgive the editor's staring, ma'am. It's just we don't have such pretty newcomers around here often.
Congratulations, Bert. You're a lucky man.
I think Harris is afraid he's just lost his best chess opponent.
We'll still have our chess games.
I hope you enjoy living in Tombstone, Miss McGraw.
Oh, I'm sure I will, Sheriff.
We'll do our best to see that you do.
Thank you.
Come on, Bert. Help you with the bags.
Jeannie McGraw had arrived in Tombstone on the noon stage from Denver unknown. Nobody knew at the time that she was someone the town would never forget.
Yeah, how about that? Never thought old Bert McGraw would get himself roped in a double harness.
Yeah.
Well, you don't sound too happy about it. Matter of fact, I'd say you're acting downright grumpy.
Clay, I know this sounds ridiculous, but I have a notion I've seen that woman before somewhere.
Well, you've been to Denver.
I don't know where, or when, or under what circumstances. But it bothers me.
Well, you know, there's something bothers me, too. The way she was staring at that Vince Sanders across the street.
Vince Sanders?
Yeah.
Oh, the fellow came into town yesterday.
Yeah, and an hour after he rode in, he started a big free-for-all down at the Oriental. Accused one of the dealers of cheating.
You think she knows him?
I don't know. Probably not.
Where are you going?
Look for some real trouble instead of dreaming it up.
Allow me, man.
Leave me alone.
You don't really mean that, do you?
Sanders!
Leave the lady alone like she told you.
Just as you say, Sheriff. This time.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Oh, Miss McGraw, you know that man?
Well, I'd rather not discuss it. Excuse me.
Now, this little gal I was talking about from Denver. She loved me. Wanted to marry me. But she decided she'd marry someone with lots of money. So she did. Oh, it won't last. This fella she married is old. She'll get tired of him. She's mine! She always was. Evening, McGraw. I thought the happy bridegroom would have lots better things to do than hang around saloons.
I heard you were talking like that. All over town.
Ain't you never heard of freedom of speech, McGraw?
You keep that foul mouth shut, or I'll shut it for you. For good, you hear that?
Maybe you'd really like to make something of it.
You can't talk about my wife like that or bluff me either. Now, I'm warning you.
McGraw, you ain't never gonna get out that door alive.
Put it away, Saunders.
You've been pushing me, Hollister.
Go home, Bert.
But look,
I said go home. I know what you've been doing, Saunders. That's why I'm here. You leave the McGraws alone or I'll throw you out of town.
Sure, Hollister. Anything you say.
You wanted to see me?
Hello, Clay. Yeah. I heard about that run-in between Vince Sanders and Bert McGraw.
No.
And then I remembered where I'd seen Jeannie McGraw before.
Where?
Here, see what you think.
A Santa Fe paper dated 6 months ago?
Look at the picture there on the front page.
Oh, yeah. Woman widowed for the second time in 2 years. This article doesn't come right out and say it, but it practically accuses her of legalized murder.
Twice she married an older, well-to-do man from some small western town. Both times the husband was killed by a stranger in what was called a fair fight. What more do you need?
Well, even though this picture does look like McGraw's bride, I can't act officially until I know for sure.
Well, you better do that fast. If this woman is Jeannie and Vince Sanders is her partner, Bert McGraw is living in the shadow of Boot Hill.
All right. You wire the Santa Fe paper for more detailed information. I'll go talk to McGraw.
Sheriff Hollister.
Ma'am.
Nice of you to come by. Sit down. Let me get you something.
Oh, no, thanks. I want to talk to Bert.
Well, he's not here.
Well, could you tell me where he is?
He's on the other side of the hill, dynamiting stumps for grazing land.
Thank you.
Well, Sheriff, what do you want to talk to him about? Maybe I could help.
Yeah, maybe you could. Did you hear about what happened last night in town?
You mean men brawling? I hear you have a lot of that in Tombstone, Sheriff.
Mrs. McGraw, you know Vince Sanders, don't you?
I've already discussed that with my husband.
One more thing, Mrs. McGraw.
I have chores, Sheriff.
Mrs. McGraw, were you ever married before?
Morning, Bert. Morning, Clay.
You better be careful. That's pretty dangerous stuff you're working with.
Take forever to dig this stuff out. This stuff does it in a few minutes.
Say, Bert, you've known me long enough to know that I'm not a busybody.
So?
So your wife practically admitted to me that she knows this Vince Sanders. She said she discussed it with you.
That's right. She's got nothing to hide. Sanders is in love with her. Followed her here to Tombstone. Won't leave her alone. And I'm warning you, Clay. If he bothers her again, if he even goes near Jeannie, I'll kill him.
Oh, no, Bert. That's just what Sanders wants. That'll give him an excuse to kill you and claim self-defense. You wouldn't have a chance against a professional gunslinger like him.
Now listen, Clay. What is it? Somebody tried to shoot at me.
Not you, the dynamite. He got away.
Vince Sanders, Clay?
That's my guess.
And he's out to get me now. Any way he can. So he can have Jeannie.
Yeah.
An attempt had been made on Bert McGraw's life, one calculated to kill Clay Hollister at the same time, if it had been successful. The sheriff of Tombstone had an idea as to the identity of the killer, but he didn't have proof.
Harris, you got any answers?
Harris!
What happened?
Oh, hello, Clay.
Were you all right?
Oh, sure. Perfectly all right. Considering somebody tried to bash my skull in.
Who did it?
I guess it was our friend Vince Sanders. I came in, found a wire from Santa Fe pushed under the door. I bent over to pick it up, and wham! I never even got a chance to read it.
Well, don't worry about the wire. I don't think we'll need it.
Why not?
Because Sanders has practically proven that we're right. I'm almost sure that he tried to kill McGraw and me.
Where? When?
I'll tell you later. Right now, I'm going to get Sanders. He's got a lot of questions to answer.
Not without me. I've acquired a personal interest in Mr. Vince Sanders. Vince Sanders was a step ahead of us. The hotel clerk said he had checked out several hours before, claiming he was leaving town.
Well, I doubt if he'd cleared out for good or he wouldn't have worried about that wire.
Where do you suppose he's gone?
Take direct action against his target, Bert McGraw. Let's go.
he's out at the line camp shack on Stony Hills. You just missed him, Sheriff.
How about Mrs. McGraw? She here?
She's out there, too. She rode out first. Left a message for Mr. McGraw that she was riding out to say goodbye to a friend that's leaving the territory.
Vince, he'll kill Bert and nobody to witness it but Jeannie. And she'll testify it was a fair fight. Yeah, let's go. No sign of him. He must have been farther ahead of us than I thought. Still about 5 miles to that shack. Uh-huh. We'll take that dry riverbed. We can cut off a mile that way. Come on.
Looks like he got you a message. Now he's gonna get mine.
Vince, don't you mess with him. You shoot him as soon as he comes in that door.
Don't you worry about me. You just stand right here so he thinks you're alone.
Where is he?
Where's who?
You know who. How long ago did he leave?
He didn't.
You understand. Let's fight for her. Harris, cover me just in case.
I wouldn't dirty my hands.
Well, stop stalling and shoot him.
I just want to see him suffer a little bit.
Bert? I'm sorry, Bert.
Sorry he's dead, you mean?
No. No, I'm not. Please don't look at me like that. You can forgive me. You've got to forgive me. I'll make up for it some way. Please, Bert, please. Bert, come back! All right, then, go on. I don't need you. But remember that I'm still your wife. And half of everything you own is legally mine. Your land and your money, that's all I ever wanted anyway.
You don't even have that anymore.
What do you mean?
This wire I just got from the Santa Fe Press. They just completed an investigation on you and your friend here. It seems that you were originally married to Sanders, and you never divorced him. So you were never legally married to Bert or to any of the others. You're getting to be a pretty good newspaper man, Harris. so interesting out there?
Bert McGraw.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he'd be snapping out of it by now.
You need something to jar him out of it.
What did you?
Hey, you, we got a new ordinance in town. No wool gathering in the middle of the day. Hello, Clay.
Oh, say, you hear about the new chess champion?
Chess champion?
Yeah, of Tombstone. He claims it's official, even proclaiming it in the newspaper.
Who?
Harris. He says there are no challengers. Well, none worth their salt, anyway.
Why, I know what you're doing, Clay. I'll get around to playing chess.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, August 3, 1882. Sheriff Clay Hollister was giving the town its final nightly check.
Who's there?
It's me, Sheriff. Adam Kirby. It kind of scared me. Till I saw who it was.
What's the matter, Adam? Somebody after you?
Man never knows who might have it in for him, Sheriff.
Well, I think I'll turn in. Night, Sheriff.
Oh, Adam, you got a place to stay?
Best place in town.
I'm asking for the last time. I want my money back.
You made a deal with me, Baines.
Deal? I don't buy stolen cattle, no matter how cheap. All right, mister. Guess I'll have to go to the sheriff.
If that's the way you feel. You want a refund? Here it is.
usual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. The morning of August 4, 1882. A murder had been committed in Tombstone, and there were no witnesses, no clues.
Hello, Harris.
Morning, Clay. Hear you had a killing last night.
Boy, bad news sure does travel fast.
Always. Anything to go on?
No, not a thing. Not even this.
Sum total of a man's life.
Yeah. I didn't know Baines very well, but he seemed like an honest man, worked hard, kept out of trouble. Looks like Tombstone's lost a good citizen.
The town hasn't many to spare.
You know, editor, you're getting to be a cynic.
Where are you going?
See if I can check up on Baines' movement last night.
Mind if I tag along? Sounds like a story.
Yeah, the same old story.
That's what you're doing. Just got myself a shine.
Excuse me, mister, it was an accident.
That was an accident, too. Now you got something to clean up.
Think you're smart, don't you?
Clean the floor, or I'll clean it up with you.
You ought to show more respect. That's no way to treat a real He-Man.
He-Man?
No, you're wrong. Adam here, why, he's done all kinds of things. Come on, Adam, tell us a story about gold hunting in California.
Let me alone, will you?
Oh, now don't be bashful. How about the time you were a scout with Custer at the Little Bighorn?
The way I heard it, Custer and all his men were massacred by the Sioux.
Adam tells it different. He was the only one to escape.
I'm the only man alive that knows what really happened there.
Sounds to me like you're a liar.
Go ahead and have your fun. I know something you fellas don't know nothing about. It just happens I was in that livery stable last night. Now, what do you think about that, huh?
Sounds interesting, Adam. You see anything?
Saw that fella Baines get killed, that's all.
Are you telling the truth, or is this just another one of your stories?
I was right there, bigger than life.
Did you recognize who done the killing?
Never mind the details. You can tell me later down at my office. Let's go.
Well, I just can't walk out and leave my job, Sheriff.
Now, don't worry. You're not going to get fired. You may even get a promotion if you can identify the killer.
Well, there's no hurry. I'll be over and see you later.
Now.
And this fella pulled out a gun and shot Baines. That's all there was to it.
Did you get a look at the killer's face?
It was kind of dark. He had his back to me.
Well, that doesn't help much. We don't know any more now than we did before.
There must be something about the man you can remember, Adam.
The way he was dressed, maybe. His hat. What about his boots? Wasn't there anything at all unusual about him?
No, he was dressed like everybody. Maybe if I heard him talk again, I might be able to recognize his voice.
What was that like?
Kind of deep and husky, like he had a cold. Now, if you're through with me, Sheriff, I'd like to go back to my job.
Adam. By now, everybody in town knows that you saw that killing.
So?
So suppose the killer's still in town. And suppose he thinks you can identify him. What do you think he's going to do?
Why, I don't know. I hadn't given it much thought.
You better. You've put yourself in a dangerous position.
Yeah, I sure have.
What are you going to do, Clay? Well, we're going to make a tour of Tombstone, looking for a man with a husky voice.
All of Tombstone?
We'll start with the saloons. It's where most of our citizens go to cure a cold. Let's go, Adam.
Oh, that's asking for trouble. No, I'm not going.
Yes, you are. I need you for identification, and you may find you need me.
And if we run across this fella?
You just let me worry about that. Come on.
That man over there. That looks like him. At least on the back it does.
All right. Excuse me, mister. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Well, depends on what they are. What's troubling you, Sheriff?
Adam?
No, I made a mistake. A big one. When I opened my big mouth.
Sorry to trouble you, mister.
Well, we've been up and down every street and in and out of every hotel and saloon in Tombstone.
Well, at least we met a lot of nice people we've never known before.
Maybe the killer left town.
Could be.
Frankly, I can't think of any other place to look.
As always, Charleston.
Charleston.
It's only a couple of hours' ride from here.
If I remember correctly, that community doesn't take too easily to the law, especially the sheriff of Tombstone.
Well, listen. Oh, just a minute, fellas. As far as... Did you see anyone?
Not a sign. At least we won't have to go to Charleston.
Let's get off the streets, huh?
Whoever shot at you is gone now, Adam.
Yeah, but do you think they'll come back? Later, I mean?
They might.
You're gonna stay with me, aren't you?
No. No, you're going to stay with me. I'm placing you in protective custody.
You're locking me up?
That's right.
Well, it's the first time I've ever been put in jail for something I didn't do.
That's a lot better than walking around waiting for somebody to take another shot at you, Adam.
Yeah, but what about my job at the Alhambra? If I don't show up, they'll fire me.
Yeah. All right, you can go on working, but there'll be somebody with you at all times.
I don't like the idea of living in jail.
You'd rather take up residence on Boot Hill?
Well, there's nothing so wrong with jails. As long as they're warm and unlocked and the food's on the county. Let's go.
August 6, 1882. A hidden gunman had made an attempt on the life of Adam Kirby, Clay Hollister's only witness to an unsolved murder. And to date, the killer's identity was still unknown.
Morning, Clay. Harris.
Say, how's your witness?
Oh, boy, he is really living high at the county's expense. And at mine, I might add. In the past 2 days, he has taken up soap, T-bone steaks, and borrowed $6 from me.
Line of duty, lawman.
Oh, boy. At least Adam's enjoying it. He's the main attraction in there.
Well, you can't blame him. Not really. It's probably the first time anyone's paid attention to him in years.
And he's taken full advantage of it.
How long do you plan to keep him in custody?
Ooh, just till he's safe.
Well, how do you know the killer's still here? He might be in New Mexico by now.
Or right across the street. Where are you headed for? Gotta go relieve my deputy. He's wet nursing Adam.
Well, let me know if there's any change.
Yeah.
Nurse.
Everything all right?
Well, it is as far as Kirby's concerned, yeah.
I'll take over.
Well, Sheriff Hollister, I want you to meet some friends of mine. Ed Sims, Charlie Howe, Hugh Dawson. We're just having a drink. Come on, won't you join us?
No, thanks. I think we better get back to the office.
What's the hurry? Nothing's gonna happen to me.
That's what I've been saying. Baines's killer was around, he'd have taken another shot at Adam here before now.
Maybe.
Stop worrying, will you, Hollister?
Adam's not scared.
Of course I'm not scared. Did I ever tell you about the time I was afoot in Indian country? I had my horse shot out right from underneath me.
Some other time, Adam.
Sheriff, why don't you leave him here with us? We'll see to it nothing happens to him.
Yeah, take care of me, Sheriff. Well, I'll see you later, fellas.
I got a horse for you from the livery stable.
Oh, are we going somewhere?
Yeah, Charleston.
But why Charleston?
Just too quiet around Tombstone.
Well, can't we go there tomorrow? This being in protective custody ain't as much fun as I thought it was gonna be. Kind of quiet here, too.
Yeah. So's a rattlesnake before he strikes.
I'll have another.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
Come on.
Afternoon, Sheriff. You look a little nervous, mister. How about a drink?
No, thanks. I'm not thirsty.
You've been thirsty all your life.
I'm not thirsty now.
How about it, Adam? This man anybody you recognize?
I never saw him in my life before.
You're sure you never heard his voice?
He's not the man we're looking for, Sheriff.
You sure? Looks like I'm wasting my time.
Oh, it's been a long day, Sheriff. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I'll see you in the morning. Good night.
Good idea. Maybe you can get yourself a room over at the hotel. Or you can go back to the straw. You see, it looks like you're right. Killer's left town, so I'm turning you loose.
Well, you can't do that. It's your duty to protect me.
Seems to me I've done my duty. Not quite sure that you have.
I don't know what you mean.
I think you do. Oh, you better take that. You'll need it. on in. Have a drink with us.
No, some other time.
Oh, there's no time like now. Come on in.
Hey, you look kind of low. Is something we can do?
No. No, thanks. Nothing, no.
Well, that's the first time I've ever seen you carrying a gun, Adam.
It's not my idea. The sheriff loaned it to me. He said I'd need it to protect myself.
Thought Hollister and his deputies looking after you.
Not anymore, they ain't. They turned me loose. Not he cares if I get killed.
You stop worrying about it. Nothing's going to happen to you. That's so, Hal?
You stick with us, Adam.
You know, I think I will have a drink with you fellas.
Now you're talking.
Thanks.
Hey, we'll have us a real celebration. We'll make this a night like you never had before.
Now, huh? Hey, what are you leaving for? We're having a good time. Where are you guys going?
You leave at us. Celebrating's just starting.
Oh! What? We're gonna have a party? Well, good, let's go, huh? Wonderful. Hey, have you boys, listen, I've been around this town a long time. You see
I don't like this place. Let's go someplace else.
What are you worried about? We're with you, are we?
I'm not worried. It's just I don't like it. I've been there before, that's all.
Get off. Get off. Get off.
Well, listen.
There you go. There you go. Dance around, boy. Dance around.
I'll get us a bottle.
Never had a better time in my life.
The best part of the party hasn't started yet.
It sure hasn't.
Told you this would be a night like you never had before.
I hate to break up this friendly gathering, Mr. Kirby, but we have some unfinished business. Killing you now suits me just as well as later. Go ahead.
Hello, Adam. Sheriff. You gonna stay around a while?
No, I just dropped in for a minute. I gotta get back to town.
Well, I think I'll go with him.
No, you stay with your friends. Unless, of course, you've got something to tell me. There's one thing, Adam. You stand up for yourself now, I'll be right here.
There's the man you're looking for, Sheriff.
You all right?
I'm all right. I got a real story to tell him now. So I said, Clay, There's the man who murdered Baines. Go on and arrest him. And I'll back you up with my gun. Well, the sheriff's a cautious man. He said, Adam, are you sure that's the man? I said, I'll prove it to you, Sheriff. So I walked right up to this Wallach and I spoke up. And I said, you're a dirty murderer.
And then what happened?
Well, he just stood there. But I knew he was going to go for his gun.
Go on, Adam.
Well, stop interrupting me, will you? You confuse me with the facts. Where was I?
Wallach was just going for his gun.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was a silence. Oh, about 5 seconds. And Wallach started to draw. Well, I pulled my gun and
Oh, go on, Adam. Don't let me interrupt you.
I was just telling him about the fight, Sheriff.
According to Adam here, why, he practically took care of Wallach and that bunch all by himself. Is that true?
Yeah, that's just how it happened. Go on, Adam. Tell your story.
Well, like I said, I pulled my gun just a split second before the sheriff. And just as cool as you please.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory. The night of May 19, 1882.
Get back inside!
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory. Sunday, May 20, 1882. The Tombstone Bank had been robbed in the dark hour before dawn, and an innocent bystander had been killed by the fleeing gunman.
Todd, stay here. Sam and I are riding down to the Jensen's. Cover us.
riders up on the hill, and 2 of them have started down.
Yeah?
Maybe you better get your gun.
You expecting trouble?
Are you? The man in the lead is riding a sorrel like Ben rides.
Inside, honey.
No.
I said inside.
And I said no.
Look, do you trust me?
Yes, I trust you, Dan, but I'm going to stay.
Somebody up the hill told us this was the Jensen farm. I guess you must be Dan Jensen. And you, lady, you must be Hope Jensen.
You want something?
Sort of. But it's business. When men talk, most ladies leave the room. All right, tell her, Danny. Tell her you asked us here. The sooner she leaves us alone, the sooner we go.
Go ahead, honey. Go on. Go ahead. Just shut your mouth. What do you want?
Give him the bag.
Why?
I'm appointing you my banker, Danny. Go on, take it, boy. It'll make you the richest banker in the territory.
I said why.
Because I told you to. Because that girl in there deserves a chance to spend the rest of her life with you. And she'll do anything you say, Danny. You just take that money here and put it away for your friends, and there won't be any trouble. If you don't, there's nothing but trouble.
Why me, Ben? You could...
No more arguments. I said give him the bag.
When'll you be back?
When I think it's time.
You swear no trouble if I do it.
That's what I said. Come on.
I was just leaving you a note.
What about?
About the bank? Any news?
Yeah, it was robbed.
Well, thanks for the exclusive. But everybody in town already knows that.
Does everybody in town know who did it?
No. But they suspect you'll find out.
And I'll find out who killed the handyman.
Now, take it easy, Clay. It's not your fault the bank was robbed.
It's somebody's fault, Harris. 3 men ride into town, break into the bank, kill a man, and just ride out of town again. And you know why they thought they could get away with it? Because there's just me and 1 deputy to take care of the whole...
Sheriff Hollister, I'm Hope Jensen. I'd like to talk to you whenever...
Come in, man. This is Harris Clyburn, editor of the Epitaph.
Miss Jensen.
You got here just in time to stop me from blowing my top.
He means you almost got here in time.
I'll talk to you later. Just wait till you hear me on the subject of newspaper prices.
It's nice to meet you, Miss Jensen.
Thank you.
Will you sit down, ma'am? Now, how may I help you?
Sheriff. Look inside. Is it from the bank?
Maybe you better tell me.
Well, 2 men rode into our place this morning. With that. They gave it to my husband. He hid it. I watched. Later I found it and I brought it here.
Sheriff, I don't know why Dan took it. I just want you to
Mrs.
help
Jensen,
him, please.
getting
I'm
upset
afraid.
isn't going to help. Now, please sit down. Now, Dan, he's your husband?
Yes. We have a farm 9 miles out on the Benson Road. These 3 men.
You said 2.
Oh, did I? Well, there were 3.
Then why did you say 2?
Well, only 2 rode in. The other man stood as a kind of lookout, I guess.
I see. Did you know them?
No. No, I don't know them.
Did your husband?
No.
Quint. Yackley. Lock that in the safe. This is my deputy, Quint. Quint, Mrs. Jensen. Now, I suggest you stay here until I get back. Your husband, Dan, will be with me. Dan Jensen?
Yeah.
I'm Clay Hollister. You the sheriff? That's right. I'd like to talk to you for a minute. Your wife's in my office, Mr. Jensen.
Why?
She brought me something.
You know what? Well, what'd she bring you?
Money. A whole sack full of it. The money belongs to the Tombstone Bank. Would you like to tell me why you had it, Mr. Jensen? Your wife has already told me how you got it, but I want to hear it again from you. I'm waiting, Mr. Jensen.
Hope's in your office?
That's right.
Well, this is the truth, Sheriff. I kept the money because they threatened Hope. She didn't know that, but they meant it. And I know them.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Let's go.
Don't move, Sheriff. There are 2 guns pointed at you. So you told the law, huh, Danny?
No. Now listen to me a minute, Ben.
Listen? Listen to what? He give you our money, lawman?
Your money?
Where is it, Dan?
I don't know.
You don't. Get off that horse. You too, Dan. Take his guns. The sheriff even itches himself. Kill him. The money.
I haven't got it.
Who has? Where is it? Guard, find out where it is.
You're wasting your time, Ben.
How do you know?
Because it's where you can't get it.
Hold it. Where?
Back in Tombstone.
Is he telling us the truth? The money's back in Tombstone? How did you get it? Your wife. I warned you, Dan.
You can't hurt her. She's safe.
Safe, huh? In Tombstone. So you got the money, huh, Sheriff? She brought it to you. Well, Sheriff, we've got you. Tell me, what do you think you're worth? I figured just about as much as you stole from us.
It might not work.
You better hope it does, Sheriff. Sit down. Let's see how well you can write, Sheriff.
You call it.
Being detained, still alive, give bearers the money, or I'm dead. Sign it. Clay Hollister. You write well, Sheriff.
You sound like you've had lots of experience with this sort of thing.
Todd, you and Sam take him into town. Get that money back. Well, if they don't, they've got a dead sheriff.
What do you mean, take him with us?
Just that. Ride right up to the sheriff's office, but one of you stay outside with him. Make it look like he's one of us.
Suppose he tries.
He won't, because one of you is going to be in a position to kill his wife. And I'll kill his friend here for sure. He knows that, don't you, Danny?
Suppose they try and follow us.
They won't. Make it clear, any tricks is no deal. They never get Hollister.
After we get the money, what about him?
Bring him back.
Yeah, then what?
Well, Danny Boy's going to ride with us for a while.
And?
I'll let you know later. Now get moving. A lot of money for a dead sheriff.
You sound real pleased, Ben.
Why not?
Well, the way I see it, the odds have changed. They're 1-to-1 now.
Later the same day, May 20, 1882.
A note from your sheriff.
Being detained but still alive. Give them the money or I'm dead. Clay Hollister. What's the meaning of this?
Just what it says. Hollister, he won't be back. Not unless we get the money. Dan outside. He told me to tell you that.
You're lying. Dan wouldn't say that.
Go to the door. Ask him yourself. But no further. I wouldn't. Because if I don't come out, the others will blast their way in here. And if we don't all come back, you do have a dead sheriff.
Dan, is it true? Is it true?
Do what he says. Give him the money.
You all heard him. The money.
Supposing we do give you the money, how do we know you won't kill him?
You don't. I guess that's a chance you'll have to take. Of course, you've got some time to think it over. I'm giving you 30 seconds, starting now.
I'll give him the money. Can't be any more killing. Tell him to give it to him.
You've only got 15 seconds.
Please give him the money.
Why? What guarantee can you give us they won't kill Clay even if we do?
He said so.
He did.
Time's up. What's it gonna be?
Quint, open the safe. Give him the money. You agree?
Yeah, I have to agree.
You did the right thing.
We'll soon see, won't we?
Yeah. Try anything. Follow me, and your sheriff's a dead man. Maybe they got lost, Ben. Or maybe you've got this thing figured all wrong.
What do you mean?
Well, if your boys like money as much as you do, they might be on their way over the border with it right now.
Don't try that on me, Hollister.
Well, you can't blame them. Everything they know, they learn from you.
Shut up.
Yeah, and once they're over the border, they're rich men. And you? You'll just be a killer who's going to hang for his killing.
I'm warning you, Hollister.
Well, you better do it fast. Because if your boys are on their way back here and my deputy is following them, they might hear the shot. They'd come riding in here.
You're gonna die. I'm gonna kill you right now.
No, you're not. Not until you get your money, you're not. You see, you might need me. They might demand another note before they turned it over to you.
Yeah, you got that figured right. It's getting late.
Frankly, I'm in no hurry for him to get back. The odds are still 1 to 1.
But I've got the gun.
I can wait. Can you?
We haven't much time. Why did you come to the sheriff, Miss Jensen? Who sent you?
No one sent me.
Did your husband send you?
No. And he didn't kill the man in the robbery because he wasn't there.
If what you say is true, he can't be too deeply involved. Not yet. At most, he's an accessory to a robbery.
What are you trying to say?
Only that if you know anything that you're not telling us about the men involved in this, you'd be helping your husband by saying so.
Well, maybe you're right. But there's a man dead. And if Dan had anything to do with it, they might hang him, and I can't help hang my husband.
And what happens to him if Clay Hollister is killed?
I can't tell you anything.
And your husband? You feel you're helping him?
I don't know. All I know is he's alive, and I want to make sure that he stays that way. At any cost.
Tell me one thing. How do you decide?
Decide what?
Who's to live and who's to die? That's what you're doing, you know. And you haven't the right. No one has.
I don't care who lives or dies. I only care about Dan and me.
So you're willing to kill someone who tried to help him and you?
No, I'm not.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Miss Jensen. I don't want to hurt you. But I do want to save a life.
There were 3 men. 2 of them you've seen. I don't know them, but the leader is a man called Ben. Ben Jensen. He's Dan's brother.
His brother?
He has a place out near ours, to the east.
The first place to the east?
Yes. It's best you approach it from the corral side.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Let me see it. You think you're smart, don't you?
One to one and no gun.
I like it that way.
Todd. Forget it. On your feet.
Hold it!
Drop the gun. Where's Dan Jensen?
He's wounded. The editor's back there with him.
Take care of these two. There's one more inside that I want to see to personally.
Editor, there is no excuse.
You know the price of Houston.
Sheriff, I just came from the hospital and Dan's going to be all right.
Oh, good.
Looks like our troubles are over. I want to thank you.
Well, at least Ben Jensen won't be troubling you anymore. Looks like he'll be staying right here for good.
I'm sorry I had to be so rough, Miss Jensen, but I'm surprised.
You're surprised?
Well, if you thought your husband was being pressured by someone, why didn't you talk it over with him? Like a husband and wife.
You never would have thought he was part of that gang if you had.
Well, maybe it's a lesson that Dan and I have learned. Well, goodbye and thanks again. You wives must be terribly understanding. I mean, for you to be able to tell them everything.
Oh, well, I'm not...
Me either.
I didn't think so.
Whistle me up a memory. Whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory. Whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Tombstone, Arizona Territory, May 9, 1888.
Well, Harris, what can I do for you?
I'm glad you could come right over, Clay. I've got to get the technical description of this Army heliograph thing straight.
All right. Yeah, but first let me give you the weather report. Tombstone's in for a big wind. I just heard some of our prominent citizens rehearsing their speeches of welcome. Boy, they're puffed up like spring frogs.
The governor's used to it.
Yes.
Check that copy for me, will you?
All right. Governor Armstrong making an inspection of the Army's new heliograph, a signal and warning system against Indian raids and...
Not that part, the technical stuff down here.
Oh. On a chain of mountain peaks, the Army has set up a system of flashing mirrors. They can talk to each other in Morse code, dots and dashes. More important, they can talk to patrols miles away on the mesas and flats and give them the location and movements of renegade Apache raiding parties.
Wire for you, Clay.
Oh,
Governor State's coming in early.
oh, good enough. Let's ride out and meet him. We can finish this later.
Good idea. Let's go. There they come. They're running loose.
Billy, what happened?
They got him, Clay. Swooped down just like hunting hawks and got him.
Is that the governor? No, it's one of his aides.
Where's Armstrong?
That's what I gotta find out. Conrad, take the stage into town. Quint, I want you to gather some men to ride with me. Harris, you send a telegram to Fort Huachuca. Tell them that I'm mounting a posse to backtrack toward Mormon Peak. Have the heliograph station on the peak signal me what horsemen are working that area, right? Let's go.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone Territory.
What are those things saying now?
Spotted 5 riders in the Cochise Gorge. Let's go. Yeah, 5 of them. Ponies are shod. They can't be Apaches. Take a look at that.
How can I tell where they're going? With every swig of that, you get a free snake.
Yeah.
Let's put out flankers and comb the canyon.
Oh, you're not going in there.
Why not?
Box Canyon. Perfect trap.
Well, if we know they're in there, and they got the governor.
If we ride in together, they could scratch us out with one volley. Grant, you and I will go ahead.
Right.
Harris, you and the others block the mouth of the canyon if there's any trouble. Governor Armstrong, with Frank Bannock behind him.
Drop your guns and keep coming up, Hollister, alone. I'm not a patient man. Now get up here before I start diselecting me a governor.
Call him up here.
Sheriff Hollister! There are only 4 of them. Signal your men in charge of...
Send your boys back to Tombstone, Hollister. Then you come up here.
I'll pretend to pull out. I'll send the boys back in along the sides of the canyon.
No, do what he says. Tell Harris to take the men back to Tombstone.
We outnumber them.
It's not going to save the governor.
You gonna do what I say? Or shall I kill him right now?
Take him back, Quint.
Expect to see me, did you, Hollister?
Yeah, you left your card, Bannock.
Card?
Nobody else would kill one man needlessly and shoot another so badly he'd live long enough to get the stage into town. Nobody but an Apache. And an Apache would know a governor if he saw one.
My brother Dan still set to hang?
That's right, tomorrow morning. Nothing's changed.
You missed your tally, Sheriff. 2 things have changed. You and him. I'll start climbing.
Where's the Army crew of the heliograph?
We give them lead medals and send them on a furlough, that's what.
Happy here used to be a telegrapher. He sent that message about 5 riders. It brought you in like a fish on a string, huh? You gonna send another one, Happy? I want him to know that the governor and Hollister here are alive. But I'll kill them both if I don't clear the area of all patrols and posses. Bear, you tie him up and put him in the cave, huh?
Come on.
Welcome to Tombstone, Governor.
Well, maybe it's not as bad as it appears. After all, the worst he could have in him would be ransom.
Yeah, for you, I hope so. But you see, Bandit swore that he'd kill me the day that his brother was executed in Yuma.
That's Dan Banta, who's hanging tomorrow for murdering a man during a payroll robbery?
That's right, I brought him in. I should have figured that he'd take advantage of your visit to Tombstone.
Well, that would have been a guess, Sheriff.
I'm paid to guess right. Now I gotta start guessing about how to get the two of us out of here.
Now that we've sent our little message, we're gonna have a talk. The governor, the law gun, and me.
Talk.
My brother Dan's set to die in the morning.
He is.
And you're gonna set him free, Governor.
Why, that's ridiculous.
Not to me. See, we're gonna send another message on them flashing mirrors, this time in your name. It's gonna be relayed to Yuma Prison, telling them to let Dan go.
You can't do that. It's out of the question.
They won't release him until they see the governor.
That's why he's gonna be riding out of here right after we send the message. So they will see him. But we're keeping you, Hollister. Just to make sure he does let Dan go. Well, Governor?
No.
You sure? Well, we're gonna have ourselves a little trial.
Trial?
Hollister, you brought Brother Dan into court, and the governor here rules the courts. Well, not here, because I'm the law. So you're both on trial for murder, Dan's murder. And Stark and Bear here are going to be the jury. You know, you can't spill blood without talking. Talking means justice, and we're going to have justice. So do you both swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
About what?
About killing my brother Dan. You're hanging him tomorrow.
No, the law is.
You're the law, so you're hanging him. Why?
For murder, as I understand it.
Because you understand it. Would you know my brother if he walked in here right now?
No.
You hear that, jury? He's willing to hang a man he don't even know to look at. But you'd know my brother, wouldn't you?
I know him.
You brought him into trial, didn't you?
That's right, I brought him in.
And I accuse you of killing him.
No, Banta. I couldn't kill him. The governor couldn't. Nobody could kill your brother. Because, you see, after riding with you, he was already dead.
Squeezed dry of life and purpose by the man he followed.
You killed your brother, Banta, and nobody else.
You'd like for me to shoot you, wouldn't you? Make it quick and easy. But it's gonna be slow. Waiting for the hour like my brother's doing in his cell right now. Has the jury reached a verdict?
Guilty. Let's get it over with.
Well, the verdict's guilty, boys. But I'm not going to kill you right now. Because I sentence you to hang by the neck tomorrow morning when Dan hangs. By the neck until dead. And you got all night to think about it. Hollister, why don't you tell your stiff-necked friend about Hooper and Wilkie while you're waiting, huh?
Who were those men Bantam was talking about? Wilkie and Hooper? They were two men that he tortured to death. How? I'd rather not say. Bantam's got some things in his head that an Apache squaw wouldn't think of. Well, then this isn't just a bluff. He isn't after ransom. He really intends to hang us. If that's all he intends to do, we're lucky. It's almost unbelievable. It's like a nightmare. A couple of days ago, I kissed my wife and my children goodbye and set off on a routine tour of inspection. Now, I'm a public servant, Sheriff. I'm a family man. I'm not a hero. Who is? Well, but it's different with you. You've lived around death. No, Governor, you never get used to death. But you don't understand. I don't know how to die. Not this way. Slowly. For no purpose at all. Governor, another public servant once said, the highest purpose a man can serve is to cherish life and accept death with the same heartbeat. Who was that? Family man by the name of Abraham Lincoln. Yes, but those were political words spoken for a battlefield. Yeah, kind of battlefield. He was on his deathbed. You don't understand. I haven't got his kind of courage. Governor Armstrong, Bata feeds on fear. And every time we deny it to him, he dies a little bit. Deny him your fear, Governor. I'll try. Lord, help me. I'll try.
All right, go get him, Bert. You got the mirrors shine on that contraption, Happy?
Well, we needs the full sun to send a message.
Okay. Come on over here, Governor. I want to have a talk with you. I got a horse all ready for you over there, Governor.
For me? I don't understand. You're letting me go?
Well, I'm going to give you one more chance. Now, I want my brother Dan. Happy will flash the message and you can ride off of this mountain free as cottonwood down. Huh? How about it?
I can't do it.
You want to die, Governor? Why? Why do you want to die when you can live? Just to show how stiff and proud you took to dying, is that it?
No.
Well, who's going to care how proud you were? Who's going to know the rocks, the wind going by?
I told you I won't do it.
Maybe you'd like to write something, Governor, huh? Note to the wife, huh? Wookie did. It's a real pretty note, too. All about how she should treasure life and how he was going to miss the sight of running antelope in the sun or hawks circling in the sky. You know, that sort of thing. It's real pretty. You want to write something, Governor? I'm waiting, Governor. No. I said I'm waiting! Oh. All right, set him up! Usually when I find a man who can't wait to die, I do my best to help him. But I'm gonna let you two die slow. I'm gonna let you take your courage and roll it around in your mouths so you can really taste it. Of course, it's best if your horse don't wander off looking for grass or water and leave you dancing. Then again, you might get tired and want to kick him and get it over with fast. I don't know how brave men figure, but smart men are riding down the mountain free. You sure, Governor? Okay.
Ooh, boy. Ooh, babe. Ooh, babe. Oh, babe. Governor, I want to try something. Can you sing? Sing a song?
A song?
Yeah, anything, just to quiet the horses. Black, black, black is the color of my true love's hair. Her eyes are something wondrous fair. La 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 love me. I love the ground whereon she stands. Black, black, black is the color of my true love's hair. I love her eyes. La 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 la. Love. I love the ground whereon she stands. La 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 la. I love the ground whereon she stands. Ooh. Ooh. You all right, Governor?
Yeah. I'm all right, thanks.
Rub your wrists. Get the circulation back into it. Then catch that horse and put a bridle on him.
I'll get him.
I gotta send a message. Bandit and his men will be breaking out of Battle Pass.
Right.
Riders in the flat, headed this way.
Cavalry!
They must have spotted us, Frank.
Yeah, let's head back through Dead Man Canyon. Come on.
Bandit's men. Cavalry turned him, we'll cut him off. Just the two of us? How? You stay here. I'll ride back to those narrows, and when they pass that open spot in the trail, you give me an arm signal. You're unarmed. What can you do? You remember the old saying about too much rope? Just maybe Batta's hanged himself. Almost guessed wrong again. Let the cavalry take care of those other two.
You ready, Governor? The whole town's out there waiting.
Yes, I'm all ready. You got me, Clay?
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir. Here's some notes from your speech we found on the floor of the stagecoach. Afraid there's a little blood on them.
Those blood stains will be all the notes I need. I'm not talking politics today. I'm going to tell the people of Tombstone about their sheriff. Well, now, sir, I'd kind of take it easy on that if I were you. See, sheriff's on the program, too. You might have quite a piece to speak about the territorial governor.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Outside Tombstone, Arizona Territory, October 17, 1884. The foothills of the Mule Mountains.
Can you walk?
I don't think so.
Great. A couple of shots will flush them out. Be careful and shoot high.
Careful. They're convicts.
They're on foot and they're unarmed. We don't have to push our advantage.
We better give ourselves up, Callahan. We'll never make it.
A bullet now or a noose later. I'll take my chances with a bullet.
I'm coming out! Get down! Get down!
All right, McQueen, hold your fire. They're coming out.
That was murder. What kind of a deputy are you, anyway?
The orders are dead or alive.
Shut him down!
Well, Holden?
I'll try it too. Well, we missed him. So I shot a killer. If you haven't got the stomach for it, then go back to Sonoyta and take that desk job.
Get your hands off me. You'll hear about it when I'm ready to quit.
You better give it some thought. A lot of thought. Fast.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. Tombstone, the same day, October 17, 1884. Jim Patcher said you wanted me to come over as soon as I could.
Yeah, thought this would interest you.
Wanted dead or alive, Tom Holden, for a killing in the Wells Fargo robbery of April 23, 1882. Well, this is a couple of years old, I remember it. Holden was caught and convicted and sentenced to life in Yuma Penitentiary.
And 3 weeks ago, he escaped with 2 other convicts.
Oh.
And he's been wanted dead or alive again ever since, up until yesterday.
They caught him?
No, they found new evidence that he's innocent. Well, at least innocent of the killing.
I see. Well, this is quite a story, an important one. I'll wire Tucson and get all the facts and do it up right in the epitaph. Can I have this?
Sure. Where you going?
To send that telegram and get back to work. I'm up to my ears.
Harris. You gonna leave with half the story? They haven't caught him yet. There are 2 men following him. As far as they're concerned, he's still a killer.
And they'll take him any way they can.
Right.
Who's this Eli Parsons?
Oh, he's the sheriff of Sonoyta. The man with him is probably his deputy. They've tracked him as far as Cochise County, Mule Mountain area. Well?
Well, what?
Ready in, say, 15 minutes?
Make it 10.
All right. Oh, you know, I had to get a year's free subscription to the Epitaph for this.
How do you figure that?
Well, it's the 3rd exclusive I've given you this year. 10 minutes.
A few hours later, near the foothills of the Mule Mountains.
Stay down, Harris. Don't worry. Get your hands up, both of you. Now walk over and keep your hands high.
Take it easy, mister.
I said get your hands up.
What's the trouble here? Your boy. I'm Clay Hollister, sheriff of Tombstone.
Hollister, of course.
Ferris Clyburn.
Howdy. Hello, Sheriff.
McQueen, what are you trying to do? Excuse my deputy, he's a little jumpy.
A little?
You take care of the horses, McQueen.
And that doesn't mean shoot him.
Well, there's no harm in being careful. We're on a manhunt, Sheriff. You could have been the man we're searching for.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Well, I understood the men that you're looking for are on foot.
All right, McQueen, take care of the horses like I told you.
Where'd you get that trigger-happy deputy?
McQueen, well, he was wished on me by the town fathers of Sonoyta.
You mean he doesn't shoot at them?
No, he's after this. But welcome anyway, such as it is. Let's get on inside. Tell me, Clay, what brings you out here? Nothing happening in Tombstone?
Oh, I got a telegram from the U.S. Marshal in Tucson. He asked me to contact you about one of your escaped prisoners.
Well, Holden could be innocent then, huh?
Yeah, according to that, they've got new evidence, and they want to give him another trial.
Holden was convicted of killing a Wells Fargo agent. I was at the trial. They had a good case against him.
Sometimes the law makes mistakes.
Yeah, like anybody else, I guess. McQueen? Yeah, you better read this. Might help calm down that trigger finger of yours. Well, Clay, there's only 2 of them left now. We buried Seth Wheeler this afternoon. No sense going into details on that. Now, Holden and Callahan are on foot and unarmed. We should catch up with them by morning. And, we're giving Holden every chance to come in.
I'd say we already gave him his chance. And he didn't take it.
You got a personal grudge against him?
I never saw him before in my life. But he's a convict. Nobody's proved he's innocent yet.
Sounds like a coyote.
No, it's not coyotes.
Well, what is it, Sheriff? Owls?
Apaches.
Apaches.
Renegade Apaches have been raiding the prospectors in these mountains.
Well, I guess we don't get all the news in Sonata.
Subscribe to the Tombstone Epitaph.
How many Apaches there's supposed to be?
Some say 15, some say 50.
That puts us about the same boat as Holden Callahan.
No, not quite. We've got guns and they haven't. But we got something else working for us. Apaches don't attack during the night. They'll wait for dawn. We'll just have to get up real early.
October 18, 1884. Sheriff Parsons followed the trail of the escaped convicts with an experienced eye. Their time was running out, and there was no trace of Indians or coyotes.
They weren't armed. Looks like they are. Maybe they got the guns from the people inside that cabin.
Clay, you keep us covered. Queen and I'll work our way in close.
Eli, remember we want Holden alive.
Yeah. All right, Clay, you come with me. Queen, you give us cover.
Maybe you'd like us to surrender to them. Eli, you talk to him from here. I'll circle around behind the house.
Clay, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be taking the chances here.
Well, you're not exactly home in bed.
Holden! We have new evidence in your case. You're gonna get a new trial. You hear me? Holden!
Give me the rifle. Come on in. How is it, Parsons?
It looks worse than it is.
Take him inside, McQueen. I've got bandages in my saddle pack.
Oh, are you a sheriff?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, catch them! Kill them! They killed my brother!
Clay, is this the sharpshooter?
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I thought they were coming back.
Who?
2 men. They came here this morning. They demanded food and guns and horses. Oh, we must fix that arm. My brother tried to stop them.
Gauze and bandages.
Thank you. But there was an older man.
Oh, that'd be Callahan, Clay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what the other man called him. He grabbed a gun from the table. He shot George. The other man tried to stop him. They fought. For a moment, I thought he'd killed the other man. Oh, am I hurting you?
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
Then this Callahan forced the other man to go with him. They took our horses and rode south. They're probably dead by now.
Not Apaches?
I've seen them twice this last week. George and I were working a streak of silver south of here. The Apaches were camped out there one night. It's been so hard here. George tried. I'll be all right. Just give me a few minutes.
Well, what are we going to do with her? Can't leave her here, can't take her with us.
Clay, I'll stay here and help. I'm not good for much else.
Well, let's go.
Queen, remember, we're giving Holden a chance to come in, and don't you forget. Now, Clay.
Yeah?
Be careful, huh?
Are the Apaches?
No.
October 18, 1884, noon. The escaped convicts, now armed and mounted, left a trail that led deep into Indian country.
Holden and Callahan?
I don't know. You take cover here, I'll scout ahead. And if it is Holden and Callahan, I want to take them without gunfire. No sense advertising ourselves to the Apaches.
Law. So you made it. You're as good as dead, Sheriff. I never saw so many Indians. You know something, Sheriff? You ain't no different from me or them Redskins. You shot down Wheeler when he tried to give himself up. boots. They even took my boots.
What happened to Holden?
Bullet or a noose. I never figured on an arrow.
Is Holden still alive?
Gave him my gun. Told him to make a run for it.
Where'd he go?
Up there somewhere. What difference it make? We're all dead, man.
Must be a coyote.
Yeah, a coyote with a new pair of boots.
Let's get out of here.
Holden could still be alive.
Well, we won't be if we stay.
Then you go back. Hey, up on the hill. McQueen, take the horse's time out of sight.
Story? Isn't exactly what I had in mind. Can't interview the Apaches. Don't speak the language.
What are you worried about? Making their meaning pretty clear. Sure of one thing.
What?
Queen's on our side for the time being.
Times when the sword is mightier than the pen.
Guess there'll be no holding you down after today.
Provided I live through it.
Holden's still alive.
How do you know?
Just saw him duck into a mine shaft up there.
Well, his chances of survival are better than ours.
Cost him too much. McQueen!
Yeah, I'm here. I'm low on ammunition. How about you?
Couple of rounds.
Look, let's get out of here before they come back.
You two stay here with the horses. I got some unfinished business.
Holden?
That's right.
Where?
I'll take care of you.
you hear me? Holden! Save that ammunition. I got a telegram from the U.S. Marshal in Tucson. You're going to get a new trial. Can you hear me? Don't spoil it for yourself now. Throw out the gun and follow it.
One bullet.
Take care of himself. I know what I'm doing. You watch the horses. I'm not armed.
Well, they really shot you up good, didn't they?
I'm still alive.
Can you ride?
If I'm really getting a new trial, I'll walk to Tucson. That's him. He's the one that framed me for that Wells Fargo job.
Don't move, Hollister. A bullet can beat the fastest draw.
That's right. Now what?
Oh. Well, I'll just tell him that the posse and convicts were killed by Apaches.
And you were the only one that escaped.
That's right. I was lucky.
Clay?
Your timing couldn't be better. Let's go have that leg taken care of.
Well, Hollister, this is my last official job. When I get Holden back to Sonoyta, I quit.
Oh, well, maybe you ought to think that over. You know, there's nobody in line for the job anymore.
No. McQueen wasn't right for it. Anyway, Sonoyta needs a younger man. Besides, I've made a business deal.
Oh, business deal?
Yes. I'm coming back and help Bess work the mine. You see, Bess and I are going in a partnership.
Well, I'd say that you're not getting any older. Matter of fact, you're a lot younger. As a very attractive woman.
Thank you, Sheriff, but I do need help.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, and who knows about that mine? I wish someone would take a shot at me.
Oh, well, you just keep writing those fiery editorials.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.